Peace, God. How y'all feeling out there today, man? We got an exclusive today, man. I gotta let y'all listen to this clip, man. Meek Mill. He exposing the industry, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, man, it's been going on for years, man. I just was watching the New Edition story, you know what I'm saying, when the guy was like, you know what I mean, fucking up their money, fucking what they pay for Easy E and the NWA, same situation, man. Like I say, a lot of times when artists get on, they be so in a hurry to be a superstar, they not having a professional look over those contracts. And like I say, I'm gonna let Meek tell his side. You dig what I'm saying? But listen to me, y'all. Get in the description box, man. We got the merch out there. You know what I'm saying? Go in the description box, man. Come shop with us, man. We would really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Also, remember, donate to Cash Tab Billionaire Charlie, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people been donating. It's you next. You next. You right here. I'm talking directly to you. You next. It's your turn. Donate to Cash Tab Billionaire Charlie. Show us some love. You know what I mean? And it's going to be very appreciated, man. We thank y'all for always supporting the brand and just building us up. You did. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And you're going to keep getting content from me. You know what I mean? A lot of people out there love the channel, man. I'm just growing and getting a lot of support, man. And I thank y'all for that. We on the Patreon too, man. Got some good content over there too. Come rock with us, man. Like I say, everything in the description. And remember, the wife got the book out, trying to make it a bestseller, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make it a bestseller. We ain't trying. We're going to make it a bestseller with your support. Go out there in that link in that description and go ahead and get your book from Amazon, man. It's going to be very, very appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I want to thank everybody that's always donating to the page, to the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Cash Tab Billionaire Charlie. Thank you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to do nothing but to be appreciating my content and appreciating me as a black man in this country that's doing positive things. I thank you for that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I get up and I get on my grind with my YouTube and all the other things that I do from Amazon, all the other things I put together. You know what I'm saying? I just try to do great things. But today we got a clip with the Meek Mill. Everybody breaking it all down with Meek Mill just exposing about the industry. Meek done told it all out here in these streets, cuz. Meek Mill done told it all, cuz. I ain't gonna hold y'all too tight. Love y'all, God. Peace.
Speaking of Meek Mill, man, he jumped on his Twitter today. Meek has been doing a great job lately, man. Shout out to him. But he said something really profound today that I want to share with the people. He put this today earlier. But what about major companies taking kids away from the ghetto, got them signing their lives away for a little bit of money? We taking control of that in 2020 and exposing the people offering these slave deals. I'm going to get some lawyers to break down some of these deals y'all offering the kids. Meek Mill, went in a little bit more, said some other things about trusting people and their motives and people out to get money off of them. But I thought that was very profound that Meek is actually saying this, saying, man, and I kind of want to defer this to you to kind of get it started because, I mean, you have yourself been in, a deal.
Slave deal,
that wasn't so favorable. So the floor is yours.
Man, first off, he's 100% correct. In 2020 is the year we will start exposing these frauds and these labels that are out here manipulating very talented artists and jailing them, not only artists but producers and other kind of talents, whatever they can get their devilish hands on. I'm glad that he said it. It happens all the time. I know people in situations where they've signed 10-year contracts to a label, and the label head is also their manager. So it's three ways the hard way. What do you want it in the ass, in the pee-hole? What do you want? I mean, I'm sorry, no, you have to cut that out of YouTube. Y'all heard it on the Alex podcast. But man, it's just like how you want to get effed at the end of the day,
right?
And they don't care. And certain labels, and all right, at least I give the major labels credit to where they will at least sell you the dream, put you in the diamonds, throw you in the whips, whether they be rented or not, have you in the cars. You have independent labels that claim to be independent, will have you as independent, but you can't do shit. You ain't independent. You just as locked down as anything else. You can't distribute your own music. If you put your own song out, you're getting problems for it. If you try to submit a song to the label head, they ain't going for it unless they had time on it. They put the studio time. Why? Because them studio hours clock. They can manage. They can put those in a book. And at the end of the day, at the end of your contract, they can recoup money like snakes, knowing for the whole time they never had anything in mind. If anybody, first off, never sign a contract unless you are business solidified. First, you have an attorney on deck, and you've already solidified yourself in music. If you don't have nothing popping on YouTube, if you don't have anything popping on social media, and you just a talented artist doing your thing, what does a label see in you to think that they can make any money? They're going to try to trap you. They'll try to see what you can do in the studio, take your lyrics, take your motivation, take your drive. Go try to grab some, what's those things I'm looking for? Grab placements real quick, grab some quick money for themselves if they find themselves in a situation. Because most times, if a label's signing you, one or two components within those labels have been in a deal or a situation before where they've recouped some money, may have some small distribution power, may have some small power where they can produce some records and get some placements and things like that, but can't make you no fucking money because they barely making money themselves, man.
Right.
It's terrible what they do. All the while, you got people in the stars, in the clouds. You remember we sitting back doing movies, we doing videos, had Christmas records thought that could blow, had this record, had that record, all being sold a dream in a cesspool, man. It's crazy what's going on. What went on, excuse me.
Yeah, and it's like, with Meek though, when he's talking, he goes on to say, I really don't trust people and their motives really no more. Everybody planning to make money off you without you even knowing. And it's like, ain't that the industry though? I mean, obviously, this when Rick Ross signed him, I'm sure that he made money off of him. So I'm not saying I'm criticizing that statement, but it's just like, is that the way to go anymore? Because what is the difference between Rock Nation? Is that a label? Management company? Like, what is the difference in the industry? Somebody would have to, enlighten me on that, because it looks like all of this stuff is the same to me. They all sign to the same type of deals. Like, maybe they have more control over certain things and more percentages. How does that work, you think?
It all depends on how they structure it. Like,
right.
All right, the labels are different nowadays when you got certain business, when you got artists that's now a business entity too, and have a lot more control and leverage over their content, over their material, as opposed to a young hot dude or young lady that may be on Instagram, not have much going on,
right,
not really solidified in the business, not knowing the right components and the right pieces to go, I ain't hit for that bullshit. This is how it's going to go. This is how the partnership's going to be.
Right.
You start seeing a lot more of that. Maybe that's going on in Rock Nation, and that's the difference. But
no doubt.
It's more the same.
Right.
It's all more the same. My advice to any artist, especially somebody coming up, solidify yourself independently. Shout out to a Russ. Russ is tearing the game up right now, doing what he's doing. And he's straight solo, independent, doing his thing. If he does sign a label deal or something like that, it's somewhere where it's a partnership, it's in, out real quick. We get our thing, we out.
Yeah.
It's how you got to roll, man. And we got the technology and the capability to do it like no other's business. You got platforms out here independently owned that can distribute your music if you independently own it.
Right.
Understand the wave that we're in. If you're an artist, you can win, man.
Let's even talk with the whole podcast thing, that we wrapped up in and whatnot. And, you were putting me on to a lot of these podcasts we see out there. A lot of these, they got people pretty much putting the bag up for them. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And shout out to the ones, no shade, but shout out to the ones that are doing it all themselves, getting their own building, buying their own mics, you know what I mean? Distributing their own content and reaping the benefits through residuals, as opposed to somebody seeing a vision and throwing up the money for you. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's about ownership.
Fact.
To me, like, I would rather be, have, and this is the situation with Dane, like, I would rather own a podcast that's actually, making some money, you know what I mean? That's going to be able to bring some residuals back in and have somebody, put the money up, and then when the residuals come back in, all of it goes to them. Nah, we put the money up. When the money comes back, we all get it back and we split it. Why do we have to have a middleman, you know what I mean, to come in and put the money up for us? We can do it ourselves. It might take a little bit of time. It may not, pop as fast as you want it, but eventually it'll all be yours. You know what I mean? 50-50 split down the middle, as opposed to somebody owning 51 and me and you got to split 49.
And it's a beautiful thing, because you walk in, like how we kind of, not to kind of talk on our story, but when you do a grassroots and you do it, right, and you can have components in place with the same like mind, you don't have to split up anything. And then when you finally do have to go ahead and employ certain things or put in certain components, you still have control of all of it.
Yes, sir.
As opposed to somebody giving some upfront and then you having to pay this back or do this or do that. Mm-hmm. Nah, man, it's
strong schools, a stronger economy.
It takes some time, but it's all good. That time when you can invest it the right way, man, it pays dividends, dog.
Definitely.
I love it. And you start to realize also that with all of that, you can't do it on your own. I know, what happened to Common Sense? He said something great. You can't be the principal, the superintendent, the orator, the author, the pimp, the this, the that, and have all of these components in place without having a good team.
Right.
A good school is staffed by board of directees. They have this, they have security, they have custodial, they have this, they have that. We're starting to begin to take this to another level. We realize we need certain components in place, but grassrooted, doing this on our own, you could sit back and go, okay, that's right, my bad, that's wrong, that's this, that's that, as opposed to having somebody that puts some money in, having control over all of that. Better this way.
Yeah, because like, for example, we would need, in a perfect world, we need a building, we need microphones, we need an attorney, we need publicists, one publicist. Probably we manage ourselves, but we would need all this stuff. If somebody was putting up the money and say, okay, $500,000, they got to pay, the lawyer, this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, it's like nothing.
Where's mine at?
We could do it on our own. We could do it in a slower pace. Okay, we need people to come and do the cameras. All right, the money that we make off of this stream, let's put it to this. The money we make at this stream, put it to this. So, okay, now the platform blows up. Netflix or somebody or one of these big, Spotify want to give us a deal. Then it's like, all right, we come to the table and say, yeah, we own this. So that means we getting all of it. Not the company who put the $500,000 up and they own everything and the rights. And we can't even talk no more because they don't want, all kind of crazy stuff, man. Ownership is what is what we preach over here, man. So we're always going to be that way. We hope that you can stay that way. And like you said, in music, that's probably the best way to go.
It's the only way to go.
Only way.
In my opinion, it's the only way to go. You get you a good manager, a good lawyer, set to put your music in the good places and good eyes and good ears and win from there. What else could they give you? And why would you want to split all that money? 2020 is going to be a beautiful year, man. This conversation got me excited, man. Because definitely things we got in line, the things we got in store, people really kind of taking ownership of their own lives, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Definitely. Well, speaking of somebody, who's having some problems with record labels, Tory Lanez posted an alarming message today saying, man, he put to my fellow artists, if anything happens to me in any part of this process, I did it for all my upcoming artists to be smarter with these deals and to be in a better position for y'all families and to be aware of the dangers even when your business is right. Now, Tory Lanez, about a week and some change ago, put out another message, say he's going to expose Interscope Records, and a lot of people said that this pretty much stemmed from his mixtape project, that a lot of he couldn't get it's speculation at this point, we don't know, but that pretty much Interscope didn't pick up a portion of the bill and passed it on to him. He wasn't happy about that because he felt like if he's making a project that's out there, should be making money. I shouldn't have to pay all this money. And obviously, you listen to it, you said it's a lot of samples, I guess they call them, on there with other artists and whatnot. But this message today, Sam, man, how do you feel about this? We just got finished talking about labels and you talked about a deal you was in. You think that Tory Lanez is really scared for his life?
Maybe. It sounds like, this is 2001 Illuminati stuff right here. But, first off, when it comes to when I was listening to the album, it's dope. I'm giving Tory all of his credit, but I'm like, damn, this must have cost him a lot of money. I hope he's making money off this record because it's nothing but nonstop samples. But the good thing is, the creative thing is, all the samples that he took, he had the artist that did the original song on the record. So it was a dope. He did a nice little dynamic. They featured him on the record. It was a put together body of work. Mm-hmm. But you ain't doing it. You do it because you love it, but you also do it because you want to get paid. You want to get you want to get bread. And you seeing a great response from it, streams, this, that, and the third, about to do some things probably with it. And the money ain't going to be in the records because that's going to the person that you just had to pay for. So it's like, where's the end all be all? I just lost money essentially doing this, man. It could really take an artist and put him down. And this is what I mean by like these deals and the labels really being a devilish kind of entity, because they'll take an artist's full creative just spirit and suck it dry, man. Yeah. With these promises of money and this and that, and then not coming through. You thinking you doing a record, you putting your all into writing a record, and thinking you about to be on there, and your name ain't on the damn record and things like this, shady things going on, and you thinking of friends and they doing sideways meetings. It's a blood-sucking industry.
Yeah, but we say all of this, man, but it seems like everybody still has a deal. It's like
It's the dream, dog.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about that, a little earlier before we got on. They on Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot, and instead of them, like you said earlier, going to the different YouTube platforms and the people who really control, the pulse of the industry and saying, look, I got this. I want to invest and put, could you play this on the beginning of your video? Boom, boom, boom. They'll rather this, pray to God, pray to some entity that a record label is just going to find them and search them out and come get them at their house. No, you got to put it up on these major platforms, create a buzz first, and skyrocket and keep control the whole way through. I mean, people like T Grizzly, God rest her soul, his aunt, was killed. I was listening to an interview with him, and he pretty much said that his aunt was always a part of his life, but as soon as he started getting money, he pretty much kept it family. He gave his aunt the position. You know what I mean? Troy Ave is an independent artist who the other day he put up showing different checks and whatnot. He even boasted about him getting all the money back. So it's just like, if you can make it, through a label, you can make it on your own.
I compare it to football, right? And people, especially young kids, they want to get out on the football field and automatically start scoring touchdowns. But what they don't want to do is go throw up in practice and take it that extra mile.
Yeah, that's good.
To solidify yourself as being the best. A lot of these artists, they may be good, they may have talent, but they don't want to throw up in the gym. They don't want to throw up on the field to really solidify themselves, to know that 360 degrees around I'm taking care of. They just want to run. They want to run to the World Star. They want to run to this. They want to get here. They want to run to the jewels. They want to run to the whips. And the dream gives it to you. They give it to you.
Yeah.
But don't tell you that it's theirs. You don't own it. And all the stuff that you do, I own it. You can't say anything, but here's some drugs.
Because it's essentially a loan, right?
Yeah.
Council was breaking it down. Our brother, shout out to him if he hears this. They giving you a loan, and you got to pay it back, through the success of your music, I guess. Mm-hmm. And if it don't pop off like that, they ain't going to say, oh, you good, man, we love you. Nah, we need that money back.
Records didn't do it, so how we getting it?
Yeah. And we own you now.
Exactly.
And then it's like the 360 aspect is where they sign these deals. Now, these pretty much lifetime deals that they're signing them to where, they own pretty much, any ancillary they can get outside of music. They get that. Is that the way it goes? The 360
they get a percentage,
deal?
yeah.
They get a percentage, right?
Now, the lifetime of the loan, it depends on the person and the structure. I know artists sitting in deals right now for 10 years. And they're not getting any bread.
Is it 10 years or is it like 5 albums? How does it work? Or you got to give them like a certain amount of albums or just 10 years?
Depends on the structure. They're signed for years.
Man.
They ain't no goddamn album. They barely putting in singles. Just save me. If they were, I wish it was an album clause. Right. We'd have been out of that bitch in 6 months. There weren't no albums.
Right.
Come on, miss me with that. But it depends on the structure.
Yeah. So, Tory Lanez putting that message out there for the people who follow Tory real heavy. He's asking for people, or you think academics put that post up. He said he's asking people to pray for Tory because it's getting real. I think it'd be good, man. At the end
he better be good.
He ain't really exposed nothing like that. I mean, it wasn't nothing crazy.
What we supposed to say? I ain't even gonna say it. God forbid. It'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of people. That was one of the first comments. People started putting, under that post, the original post that Tory Lanez put up when he threatened to expose him, like, oh, just gonna happen to Tory.
There you go.
And then, I think that is some truth to that type of stuff, man, out there. I mean,
Strap in, folks. This game's for
percentage, right?
Now, the lifetime of the loan, it depends on the person and the structure. I know artists sitting in deals right now for 10 years. And they're not getting any bread.
Is it 10 years or is it like 5 albums? How does it work? Or you got to give them like a certain amount of albums or just 10 years?
Depends on the structure. They're signed for years.
Man.
They ain't no goddamn album. They barely putting in singles. Just save me. If they were, I wish it was an album clause. Right. We'd have been out of that bitch in 6 months. There weren't no albums.
Right.
Come on, miss me with that. But it depends on the structure.
Yeah. So, Tory Lanez putting that message out there for the people who follow Tory real heavy. He's asking for people, or you think academics put that post up. He said he's asking people to pray for Tory because it's getting real. I think it'd be good, man. At the end of the day,
better be good.
He ain't really exposed nothing like that. I mean, it wasn't nothing crazy.
What we supposed to say? I ain't even gonna say it. God forbid. It'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of people. That was one of the first comments. people started putting, under that post, the original post that Tory Lanez put up when he threatened to expose him, like, oh, just gonna happen to Tory.
There you go.
And then, I think that is some truth to that type of stuff, man, out there. I mean,